What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Whiskey Sour. I have two of my favorite people joining me today, and we're gonna have some interesting ass conversations. We're gonna have some drinks, turn up, and just have a good time. If you are watching, down below is my boy Daryl. I've been featured on his show.
I got a lot of random emails too from dudes like, "Yo, I'm going to hit her up in her inbox, and I'm going to your followers went up." I was like, "Damn, why is my dude from college following Dominique now? Like, what?"
Look, nobody sent me no inbox. My
they just watching.
Listen, my DMs are dry, and I tell people this all the time. Nobody believes me. My DMs be mad dry, my nigga. Like, no play. I am not making this up. So if you think you worth my time, hit a nigga up. Like, you know, it is what it is.
Like I told you, Dominique, before you got ready for that first round of divorces to pop off for cats, and then you'll be straight. So around 2022, 23, you're going to be in there.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then to my left is my amazing friend Blake Symphony. All the way in New York, NYC. Daryl's in STL. Welcome everybody. I'm so happy to see y'all. This has been in the making. I'm so excited.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. Thank you. I've been waiting to get on. Low key, I've been waiting to get on your show. I
was seeing all these random people get on. I'm like, man, who is this dude? No disrespect to that dude, but you know.
Okay, Kiki Palmer. I do not know this man.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I've been getting cussed out a lot. I'm just going to clear the air. I am still, you know, like this is still new. I am working out the kinks, trying to figure out how I'm going to cultivate it more, because initially the idea was to be able to do a lot of interviews in person, you know, but COVID. Mm-hmm. And here we are. So we just making it do what it do. And it's just been such an interesting learning journey. And I'm just having a good time, you know, like this is a form of therapy for me, you know. I let her talk. So here we are. So I apologize.
Your other show with the other girls is wild. I got a show that I still have in the tank that I recorded with Jen and with Jill and her partner Shatar when they first started their podcast. I had to can it. It was and they came to the crib. We did the whole demo because I got the studio at the crib, and it can't come out. It can't come out.
Oh, see, no. Okay,
I'll send you the file if you want to hear it. It ain't never coming out.
Oh, I would love to hear it, but that's and
he was drunk. Like we had like 5 bottles of wine, and I'm talking about and we went through all 5.
See, you know.
Oh wow, you were drunk.
That's Patreon content. You know what I mean? So that's why you have a Patreon. You make motherfuckers pay for that shit.
No. I was putting too much of my business in the streets. That's what the problem was.
Listen. We've all grown and we've come a long way. You know what I mean? So it's in the past. So can't nobody hold on to nothing when they didn't know you, you know, like, hey, they love you, they met you where you are right now, and you're great. Like, y'all fucking daddies and shit. I'm just like, I'm gonna be a hoe, but not
very
really.
Much.
But you know. Like
I saw Blake become a dad, that's when it tripped me. I was like, damn.
Listen, it tripped me out too. It tripped me out the same exact reaction, bro, from me.
I think the shocking thing about Blake's is just that, at least for me, Blake and I like have random times where we will catch up and we will talk for hours. And then it's like, we'll catch up on like social media or something. It's like how he said with you. But then it was just like this kid just popped up and I was like, wait, I'm so confused. What the fuck? Like,
I thought he was adopted like UNICEF. Yeah. You know, like UNICEF, I thought he adopted a child. I was like, whose kid is that?
Yeah.
For real, because I was like, I don't remember Blake telling me that he had a baby on the way. And then with the other part, I'm like, wait, hold on, let me call you because we need to talk.
Man, I don't know if y'all, I would compare that whole space in my life, like Blake, you know how Blake Griffin now he's with the Nets and like it's like he's flourishing in a new way again. And then, but he was with the Clippers before that, but then he was with the Pistons and nobody remembers what the hell he got accomplished there. That was that time period with me. There was who y'all knew. That was who y'all knew before. There was this space I got in, like,
right.
you know, with that whole situation. And now it's been that space afterwards where you've been seeing me again the last few years. But yeah, that space in the middle was just like, oh wow, this is what's happening and this is who I gotta be. But how do I find a new version of myself now that I'm a father? Like, what does that look like? How does that work without me like dying off? And here we are. But yeah, that's what that was. That was me, Blake Griffin in Detroit. That was that period of time. So unless we were talking every day, you really probably didn't know. You know
right.
What I mean?
That's just such an interesting way to describe your situation. Cause like both of y'all, it was kind of similar, you know, and I told you that there, I was like, I look up and then you like, I got a kid. And I'm like, wait, whoa, what the, like.
Yeah, I'm shocked too. I'm shocked every day, you know, that I'm still got a kid. Like, so
and what's funny about your situation is like, not only do you have a kid, your kids saw your whole face. Like your whole face. So it's like, I
tried to deny it originally too. I was like, man, you sure about this girl? You know, nothing about her. It was me. I was like trying to say like it wasn't me. Like it wasn't my child. Like I didn't want, like I was delivering it.
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations to y'all. Like how has that transition been into fatherhood? And how have you guys been adjusting during COVID?
Well, I would say for me, go ahead, Blake, go ahead.
Such a man, there's so many layers to that. But I guess just to put it in a nutshell, overall, you go, and Daryl can attribute to this. I remember Daryl the pre-father days too. There's you recognize that it's funny. I just got through replanting a snake plant over there because it grew some offspring, but the bigger one was like dying. So I had to like repot it and give the offspring some space. And I liken that to parenthood. It's like, okay, who you are now is not singular. You got to figure out what's the most important. But also like make a space for that too, so you can continue to grow as an individual, but make sure you tend into like these offspring that you have too, so they got a pot to grow out of. So I don't run, my output and my run around ain't the same as it was before I had kids, and I've had to mature in life in all kinds of ways. But you know, I see the results of that every day. I see these people growing in front of me. And it's just like, okay, like you can measure your progress. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side, there's these aspirational like career things, and you get results with that too after a while once you figure out how to balance, and it levels out. I think growing up, our parents' generation made like having kids just feel like, oh, you're about to die, right. But just take care of your kids.
Absolutely.
And you know, if it came down to one thing or another, which was COVID, if it comes down to one thing or another, we're gonna make sure the kids are situated on some just do your job type stuff. But you know, if you can find a balance, then it can be a beautiful thing, and they can see you working and building something as they grow too, and grow up with those codes already. So they don't got to be in their 20s or 30s putting something together. Kids now can be in their teens getting companies started, developing apps, all kinds of stuff. So it can be a beautiful thing when you learn how to balance it. But no, I definitely can't run around like early 20s, Blake. That's a wrap.
Lord, yeah.
Yeah, I say for me, one of the main things I realize, and this is not slight, it actually is a slight to other brothers, is that, yo, when you have a shorty and a kid and you get to know them, I don't understand how you cannot be in their life. Like that's one of my biggest things. It made me not understand how people not in their kids' life at all. Like that's not that. I don't understand that cognitive dissonance of that, of like, yo, I'm not going to be around, you know, I'm just going to dip. Or even worse, you in the life 4, 5, 6 years and then you dip out. Like that isn't, like, it's all of that is like, and then you think like, damn, what mental trauma they're going through on their own that they can't think about being in a kid. Like I would fight anybody for Xander, you know what I mean? Like that's no purpose, and I'm going to be there every day. Like even the idea of like, yo, I just give the bread and I do this and do that. No, we every day chopping it up. Like that's my best friend. Like, yo, we rock. You know, that's what we do. And it made me not understand, but then it made me also understand and have more grace towards women that especially taking care of their kids by themselves. Like, hey, man, even with 2 people, it's hard as hell with 1 kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard.
If all your responsibility is to tap in once or twice a week and show up with the Foot Locker bags, There is no reason why you can't fulfill that, dog. Because doing
right.
everything is next level, man. But there's women that's doing it every day.
Not
Yeah.
to it because you're, if I'm not mistaken,
Single dad.
Single dad, and you have full custody of your children, correct? In New York City.
Yeah, basically. I mean, we work that part of the game where it's all tied up is you know, we still got to get to court for that. But because I mean, just in all, yes, yes, in function, yes, in function, yes, and my man, it's funny. I've learned more about women since becoming a father than I ever did like
100%.
around. It's like a young dude. First, from just like watching my daughter and seeing that some things are natural and it's not like these malicious things that I thought women would be doing. So me having way more empathy and understanding for that, and growing with that. But then on the flip side, seeing how much strength women have had to have over time raising families on their own. Even with family help, there's like a heavy lift with doing it every day. Your family's there to tap in with you and do that, but like getting the kids out of bed every day, making sure that everyday needs are met, you know what I mean? That's a heavy lift. That's a heavy lift. And there's women that do that. I have 2. There's women that do that with 5. I literally know a woman with like 6 or 7. Married woman, but like, you know, that a lot of that load is on her because Pops is out working. Like, so it's just like, wow, these are like Wonder Women for real. You know what I mean? These are Wonder Women for real. And I've drawn a lot of strength and inspiration from women like my mother, and, you know, and I've had an active father to this day, but, you know, day to day, women like my mother, aunties, grandmothers, and then women I see every day just making it happen. Like whole nother level of respect. Feminism has set in these last few years for me because it's like, oh, this is not some extreme. This is what should have been here the whole time. Like what they're asking for isn't going against the grain. This should have been the grain the whole time. This should have been the norm the whole time. This should have been the soil everybody was kind of rocking with. A lot of growth.
Yeah, no, and to piggyback off of him, even crazier, I realized, and now you can say maybe the same thing, like you can kind of feel out and see, male or female, how good their parenting is by how their conversation and how they kind of move. Like you like, okay, yeah, you a dad or your mama, and you may be around, you got a couple pictures on the gram, whatever. But it's a different energy you see when somebody's like, yo, I'm with the shorty doing this, other than like, then it's a lot of access that people have to you and you got a kid.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Like I said, like seeing you guys grow and seeing you guys be so hands-on, and then, you know, seeing other people, you know, that are consistently gone. I'm like, how y'all always gone? Like, who got y'all fucking kid? And then I, you know, like no shit. Like I know somebody, you know, very close to me that, you know, in my past where he, you know, he be gone and he low-key got a whole nother secret kid that people really don't know about. And he don't even deal with that kid. And I'm like, yo, you didn't grow up like that, you know? And like, first of all, your parents are together and they were very present in your life. You might not have always lived down in the same house as them, but they were very active and present for the most part. You know what I mean? So if I'm like, where the fuck did you get this ghetto ass terrible trait from? And not to say it's ghetto, but it's just like class.
Yeah, no, it's a mental thing, man. Like I really believe. I mean, I've been going to therapy for like last 5 years in general, even before it was popular and shit. And it's a mental thing for some, particularly men, maybe, and even more for a woman on that aspect of what it is. It's like you realize so much about yourself. You learn more from them than you could ever teach them.
Yeah.
Like I learned that women are smarter than boys off the rip, like just period. Like I see how she moves, and you see other little boys as her age, and you like, yo, me and her have full conversations. This little boy that's 7 just running in the walls and stuff. You like, yo, like my daughter says full conversation with me talking about stuff. She gets herself dressed in the morning, go get up. She go in there, put in Egos, doing her own. Like literally, I'll get up and I'll be like, she'll send her. I'm like, you got everything done? Yeah, I'm ready to go. You be like,
my niece is like that, but she was like out the gate. She was just so independent. And it's funny because I'll be sitting there and we'll be playing and we're talking. And her mom, you know, or dad will turn around and be like, you know what she's saying? I'm like, she's speaking clearly. Like she's in Montessori school. And so, you know, I am like a junkie for Montessori school because I went to Montessori school. And we were just having this good ass time. And they're like, I don't know, you're just different, D. You're different. And then they had a son, and he's also very advanced. That's my godson as well, because I met him, and I just cried. And it's just been an interesting journey watching, like, family and friends have kids, and I'm like, what will that look like when I step into that role? It's like nerve-wracking and scary, because I'm like, damn, as an Aquarius, I love my freedom. I like not having to be bothered, and then I like being able just to get up and go. And I'm like, man, I gotta make this money, because I'm a bitch gonna need a nanny or some, fly some relative out to watch this, baby, come along.
One thing that I've definitely noticed with women that are probably like remind me of you in certain kind of ways, like who become mothers, I guarantee you, like you're gonna set up your village, but you also gonna like take your kid with you. You're gonna be a take your kid with you mother. I already know. Like, but you're gonna make it cool.
It's gonna be in the Gucci carrier.
You're gonna have a Gucci carrier. You're gonna have the matching Gucci diaper bag to go with it. Like y'all gonna be mobile. Y'all gonna be mobile. Like some things I just don't even want to take on sometimes. So I'll be like, I got the kids. I ain't gonna make it. But I see you gonna be the opposite. I already know. Like it's gonna happen. It's going down. And your kids.
I take my daughter with me. She be rolling in place she shouldn't maybe even be at. Like, but she
because you was letting me in the club at an early age. So before I was legal, Daryl used to get me drunk. Daryl, Adrian, all of them.
So you making it seem crazy. We was like 20. You making it seem crazy.
No. I was in there at like 18, 19 because Adrian's sister was my boss when I worked at Baker's. So Adrian hopped in one day.
I remember that.
Yeah. And so we connected. He was like, and it wasn't even like, it was like, you seem cool. Come out, we got this event. And I was like, I'm 19. He's like, oh, it don't matter. I got you. You're good. So, and that's just really what it was. And, I was like, okay, I'm not with the, normal food rats, from the West Side, North Side. I got to keep it cute and classy. So, I had to elevate a little bit. So y'all think I'm bougie and stuck up, it's their fault. Because,
and that's the thing, man. I give props to Roy and Adrian, man. We weren't we always say that we were respectable whores. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is like, and at least unless somebody gonna listen to this podcast and then email you or something. But I may have the disagreements with women and didn't work out for whatever reason, but I ain't really got nobody just dirt dogging me in the streets and saying like, yo, this nigga,
that is true. Right. I have never heard anybody say anything bad about y'all. Now, maybe people in passing, like some other men around here. Yes. So
I don't know what you said. I don't want to know.
I heard totally. Hold on. Yo, but when we're done, I got some shit for you. That's man. Listen.
All right, now I want to know.
Well, I'll text you. Let's get into this shit because boy, you gotta get up out of here. We're gonna have somebody, my friend Mike, popping in shortly. He just texted me. The other day I was on Twitter, and every so often I see tweets about our, beloved Ray J.
I fuck with Ray J heavy.
Okay, let's go.
And the tweet was, I am pulling up the tweet because I text Blake the tweet. And in this case, it's an image and it says 25 years ago today, Tupac drops Hit 'Em Up. Faith says nothing happened. Snoop's cousin is running around death row. He's only 15. He says he saw Faith sitting on Tupac's lap in the studio. And wait a minute, ain't that? And then you see the photo, it's Ray J. And somehow we always come back to this great debate of, is Ray J really important to our culture?
Yes.
Is Ray J really making bigger plays and moves than we think he is? And
I don't know. I'm asking the question. I don't know about that part.
Let me.
But he is definitely a part of this culture.
Right, because I think about Ray J and just being real. Like we think about love and hip hop Ray J.
Mm-hmm.
We think about a little corniness, him pushing Princess in the water. And we think about like random corny thing, like the I hit it first. Like that was corny. Nigga, we know you made that bitch. So it's like, what is the importance of Ray J? Because, and I also have a soundbite that I want to play for y'all from Vince Staples a few years back.
I know the one you're talking about too.
Exactly. And so let's start with the Vince Staple audio.
But I want to go back first to the idea that we need to go ahead and just accept in the culture that Tupac hit faith. I do want that part to be like, can we just go ahead and accept that regardless of her line about it? Let's keep this in mind. Tupac now. This is Tupac in his height.
Right.
No woman I'm dating is hanging out with nobody on that level of attractiveness and women feeling him, period. I'm assuming you had sex with him. That's just me.
But is that fair to assume based on, like you said, her attractiveness and even?
I'm talking about just Tupac.
Do you? But do you? Okay. So with that said, do you think Tupac hit Jada, or was it just?
Yeah, come on, man. I think I know that is a fact because one of my mentors, like he's my professor in college. He's from Long Beach, California. His roommate was Shamar Moore in college. They went to Santa Clara together.
Yo, why somebody recently tried to catfish me as Shamar Moore, by the way. That's story for another day.
I believe it.
I believe it. But he was always telling me stories. He was like, dude, people don't know and understand. This is years ago. This is like early 2000s. I'm old and I was in college. And he was like, he told me back, he's like, yo, Will didn't mess with Pac. So Jada came up with the idea, and I heard other interviews later on, people said, but he told me this a while back. Jada came up with the idea for California Love being in the desert, having the Mad Max feel.
Yes.
She came up with that, and Hype Williams blew up because she knew Will said, no, you can't be messing with a homeboy.
Yeah.
So she knew Hype, and then she hooked up Hype Williams with Tupac, and that's how Hype Williams blew up.
Yeah.
He told me that years ago, like when Hype was first getting big.
Yes.
So I know that Will knew, like, dude, you ain't going around Tupac. What?
Really?
Okay. No, Will definitely like admitted that too. He definitely admitted like he was insecure, like when it came. I mean, Pac was Pac at the time. Like he was probably the one dude in the biz who just had more juice than Will at that time. Like, you know what I mean?
And
like
it could be anywhere, Blake. Look, Pac would be hanging with a dude on the north side and then be in Clayton, hanging out at Barnapoli the same day with two different sets of people.
And back in those days, it was unheard of to have that kind of social range. Either you were straight Will Smith or you were like corrupt. Like there was no in between.
Yes,
there was no like pendulum. You know what I mean?
You had Mickey Rourke come to see him in jail, and like Robert De Niro, and like I mean, dude, like come on.
Yeah. Dynamic.
You gotta think about the conversation a woman is having with him, where he's really getting into them and like, yo, I'm gonna take you to some club up in Harlem, and then we gonna go to some club over in the city, like in the same night. Think about a woman's feeling of like you said, Blake, most people didn't experience those different aspects of life. And then you hanging out with
Gemini, so it makes sense. Like it was so many. It's so
my
many
woman
ways.
would be hanging around Tupac, I tell you that.
I hate you because it's just so interesting. I feel like it's totally possible that they might not have, and I will tell you this, because sometimes women and men connect, like they call it it's like you're a sapiosexual, so you connect mentally as opposed to physically. Yes, they were both attractive people, but they just might have had like a chemistry that was out of this world, and it was so intense and crazy that had they had sex, it might have been something like,
oh no, I keep that open. They didn't, but the fact that they did that was that deep is the same thing. Damn near about Will Smith.
I've had those relations. I've had a relationship like that, so I know what that's like. So it's just super interesting to see, like, him be so insecure, and it was like no sex involved. Like they were not intimate on that level.
when you really have like that friendship, and it's 2021, so I won't just say between a man and a woman, but two people that have a very high potential of being with each other easily. Sometimes, sex is like that final frontier, and either you're gonna make it or you're not, and it's scary. You know what I mean? Because it's like we not gonna. There's no coming back across this line. We either got to make something happen or it's gonna be different.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Right.
So I can believe that maybe they didn't take it that far just because it would have been too scary to fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Faith Evans, yes.
You know what? Here's what
no. As a woman, and I think Tupac is very was very attractive and very smart, and that smile, oh my God. But I've been in situations where niggas think I'm fucking somebody because of somebody's, like ranking, and then how I look, and I'm like, that's really like my homie. Like I'm not even his type. We have nothing in common on that level. Like we're literally just like best friends, and that's it. So I don't think that's fair to say, yeah, she might have sat on that nigga lap,
okay, well, let's
she
dig
might not
deeper
have
into this
fucked
for a
him.
second, Dom. Let's dig deeper into this for a second.
Okay,
All right, listen. Biggie was doing Biggie. He's messing with Little Kim. He's doing all this craziest stuff. And having a daughter, I've seen her do slick stuff to try to move around. Now, what's the best revenge for you as a woman, but to mess with his biggest enemy? The problem was she got caught up.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be just her knowing that.
Yeah, because of Ray J. Because Ray J told.
No, the picture too. That ended up getting a magazine. I think this is before camera phones. So you think somebody's randomly taking a picture of y'all in the club?
Ray J blew the whistle.
But I'm talking about the picture originally when he said I fucked your bitch. Then that picture came out in the magazine.
Yeah.
They didn't know you got man.
I'm gonna say this.
Back in the day, when we did parties, I didn't think pictures would come. I'm like, oh no, I call up ST on fire, hey man, take that down, pimp. Like we can't do that.
Yo, Daryl. I'm gonna say this because I wouldn't say that it's a real degree of separation, but it's too close of a degree of separation now. Mm-hmm. If that, if she says, and once again, this is the growth piece, right? And just me being conscious of if this woman says this is not what happened, then I'm gonna go ahead and go with it didn't happen. But I do believe that her tripping off that, probably based off what Daryl was saying, her tripping off how big it would feel was probably done because she had an opportunity to record, and she said like her money was coming from features and shows like that. Her record sales, she had a bad deal, so she had to move around and keep making
Shout
money.
out to Puffy.
1 minute.
Right.
Hey, it's not the.
Hold on.
So
talking about pay people they worth and all this stuff. No, nigga, you pay people what they worth.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah. So we know that's a true thing, right? Because everybody that left Bad Boy has said that same exact thing. So we know the money is the thing. You got to find a way to do it. She said she's just trying to do features, shows. So do I believe that she was tripping off how big it would feel? Absolutely not. Do I believe that she went all the way? If she says she didn't, I'm going to officially say, hey, she did. But everything else, like she was sitting on his lap, all of that, getting flirty, probably so. Because why would she care at that point? Like Daryl said, like, why would she hold this thing up if Biggie's doing whatever he wants to do? So,
because somewhere in her mind, and this is just how sometimes, like, unfortunately, women, we think her doing that was hoping that he would get his shit together. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that's what it is. It's not even about like the deal. It's just like, nigga, I wholeheartedly fuck with your cockeyed fat ass. You hot, you popping, and I got a kid by you. I fuck with you, and so I want you to do right by me. But hey, it is what it is. It never happens. It's just tough lessons.
I really don't believe in conspiracy theories past 1998 in general. But that's one of them I do. And maybe, what some of that stuff is like, all the stuff I held on to as a child or like a teenager, those are shits I believe in. But all the shit I don't believe in none of that shit.
I don't believe in conspiracy since past 1998. That's hella funny.
Going back to the Ray J piece though, Ray J and Flavor Flav, it's funny that they both had the VH1 run. because
Yes.
they both, even though Flavor Flav was way more apparent, they both really got their stripes in the game, honestly. You know what I mean? Really coming out with music, really acting. Ray J was on Moesha. He used to do commercials. I remember all the little Ray J.
People don't know that Ray J was on the Sinbad show way before that. People even know who he was.
Yes,
I remember that.
I do remember that.
I remember
that.
I
Because
remember
his
that.
first track was because it's interesting how the industry, or you try to switch up to like kind of profit, because we know that Ray J really can sing because he had that song on Set It Off, Let It Go.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He had songs
he had
before the
song, but
reality
he was
show.
both.
He had
Yes, he
Wait
was.
a Minute.
Well, no, but that was his first single, like his introduction to us.
Yeah, in the
Set It
90s.
Off. Yes, in the early, whenever that movie came out. I don't like that movie.
96. 96.
So,
but yeah, so he got his stripes in the game. Flav, of course, Public Enemy, Say No More. So that's, for me, those are their real points for actually being a talent of some sort. Now, I'll say another one, Stevie J.
Well, I was
Stevie
gonna say
J
Soulja
is
Boy.
super.
Look here, man. Stevie J, top 5 producer of all time.
Oh yeah.
Stevie
Absolutely.
J is
Absolutely. He's just a clown. Just a clown.
Yeah, he's super duper legit. But for people like that, if they take a career turn and it's more about like goofy stuff, it's like they still have the foundation of being like legit. Like I was signed to Death Row, nigga. I produced More Money, More Problems, Notorious Thugs.
Yes.
Who's That Girl? Like I produced mad joints.
No,
you know what I'm saying? The Who's That Girl? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Mad super hits, right? So if I act goofy the rest of my career, that's just what's making the money, but you could check my resume. So I don't press them the same way. But there's people who are purely the goofiness that is just like, God bless you, but I'm never going to take you seriously about anything. You know what I mean? But I don't put those people in there.
But really in that category, we could add Soulja Boy, like seriously, because a lot of people clown Soulja Boy, but Soulja Boy was game changing. Like,
he's the godfather to all the rappers right now. He is their father.
He is. And nobody wants to give him props. Yes, we have seen bizarre behavior from time to time. Like I said, time to time. But Soulja Boy is paid, and that's how we really knew that we can like really blow up and make this shit real, like our dreams a reality, because of YouTube. Like for real, like let's call that nigga the godfather of YouTube, because I didn't know what that shit really was until I saw fucking Soulja Boy.
We can give him that. Here's what I'll say about Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy was maybe the first celebrity who homogenized the goofy shit into his pioneering, because he came out with like the dance, everything was everything was a meme before we knew what meme was. Everything was sayings and dances and stuff. Turn My Swag On. He homogenized the goofy shit as the brand. So when he does goofy shit, it's like, oh, well, that's Soulja Boy. But it's not like, man, he needs to get back to the music. No, he always did some extra shit. It was always something that was going on with Soulja Boy, but that's what he built. And he was a kid too. So being a kid doing that, it was okay because it was a kid being a kid, and he's just a grown ass kid now. You know what I mean? But that's his brand. That's his brand, and it has been since day one. So I don't put him in a bad light, because it's like, hey, this is what he's gonna do. Like I do wish for the credit that he wants. He would dig into like more tasteful ways of doing it at this point in his life. But he just got another #1 hit. Why does he need to listen to me? So I get
it. Wait, what am I missing?
She make it clap. She make it clap with #1.
It's a little viral thing going on. They got a doggone Instagram thing going with it. And
he made it. So
that's
Soulja Boy. So he doesn't need to listen. Yeah.
Oh, you got.
So he doesn't need to listen to me. Why should he listen to me if he just made it back to #1 after like 10 years? Like, I get it.
That's Soulja Boy.
I get it.
Wow. I am sitting here like I don't even think I knew that, but I don't really indulge in TikTokness. I barely know how to make a reel on Instagram. So I'm like, wow.
If Soulja Boy would have had TikTok in 2007, he probably would have made his way to like hundreds of millions of dollars. Like on that, like the real turnover that rappers get now. Like he would have had that in because he invented this whole concept, honestly. We just didn't have the platforms that was made for it, and everybody just had to make their videos. But like, yeah, if he had Turned My Swag On for TikTok, oh my God.
I mean, it's nothing to make it it's nothing to make it a challenge, because you see how
it could come back. It could always come back.
It could always come back.
It could always come back.
That's wild.
So but the meme TikTok dance foolishness, that's part of his brand, and it always has been, and he started at 17, so it's natural. You feel me? So I give him credit. I'm trying to do the thing Soulja Boy has done, just in my own way. So I give him credit.
Yeah, but Ray J, the thing about Ray J is that he does clown things, no doubt. But I look at Ray J, I look at, if I made another choice, I would have went that route. Like I could see, like, you know, like, man, I would, you know, my cousin always joking, like, man, if you ever meet Ray J, just tell him, like, yo, this is you if you went regular corporate and regular, like, college route. Like, this would have been you.
Hey, listen.
Yeah. DJ's
I would have did all them tracks. All them tracks I would have did.
Yo, it's on tonight.
Wait a minute and formal invite, and I'll even throw One Wish. He's always, I'm always give him a musical ticket. Like, fine.
Don't forget, what's the joint with Young Bird? Don't forget that one.
Sexy Can I?
Sexy Can I?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I give him that one too. So listen, he got his stripes.
And you know what's the joint with the one the well, they ain't young now, but the dudes they kind of start the skinny jeans thing. The Young Boys.
Oh,
let me down, never let me down. Oh. And he's singing the hook.
And honestly, I thought you was talking about the Young Guns. Like,
no, the Young Boy. It's not the Young Boys. What's the name of it? The light skinned dude, the dark skinned dude from LA.
Yeah.
You never go tie me down. That song.
And you can never. And then there was like 143.
Oh, like, you broke up.
Oh, y'all remember? Oh, okay. Y'all remember 143?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's what so, but this is the thing. Ray J is kind of like Friar Tut in for the culture. If you think of like Robin Hood and His Merry Men, it's like he's needed, but you laugh, but he gives you a good time too. Like it's like you know, you gotta need Friar Tut, you know, to be around.
Like, yo, Daryl, or even like think about like a Paul Pierce now, right? Like Paul Pierce was like a legit all-star, you know, I would say elite player for a time, right?
Yeah.
And now like he's more like the dude that lost his job because of the strippers and everything's kind of like a hot.
Yeah, I don't understand that one though. I don't understand that one. I don't understand Paul Pierce with that one.
Word, no, I get it.
Because niggas love fumbling the bag. I have
shout out to y'all know his wife is from here.
I didn't know that.
Julie, she went to Parkway North. She's like 3 years younger than me.
He got a wife.
Let's go.
Yeah, he got a wife. That was the whole point. One of the biggest things. He was because if you look at the video, somebody in the thing goes, "What's up with your wife?" He's like, pfft.
Oh.
Wow.
Paul Pierce doing her like 15 years.
Oh, look, I don't know. Like I said, I live in LA. It's just a different world. So now
you live in LA.
I'm like, you see shit. No, because niggas be in and out under they
That's
fall on the radar. So you see a lot of shit low key, and it just be like, oh, I thought maybe not. Whatever. That's all I can say. But
Ray J is a good people, man. He's a good thing. I don't understand. I mean, I don't know I necessarily would like hang with him all the time. Like, I don't know about that because we kind of move differently, like kind of how I look holistically in my life. But I would kick it with him for a couple of nights. Don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's play the Vince Staple audio. I'm gonna play that for y'all super quick.
Okay. Ray J is the man. Ray J is probably top 5 hip hop West Coast of all time.
Why? Why do you feel this way, Vince?
Does Ray J not have hits?
He has a couple hits.
Ray J was the first blood on the record that was certified. You seen the K-Slay interview?
No, what did he say?
So without Ray J, there is no game. This interview, first Ray J album, peep that out. I was just a youngster hanging on the 9 block. Okay.
So you're saying it's more facts. Why? What do you mean you'll never take an L? Like you always end up.
You like Kanye West music, don't you?
Of course I do.
You like Moesha, don't you?
Of course.
You like VH1, don't you?
VH1 is a great channel.
Ray J has had a hand in everything that's current black culture. Hey, remember when Fabulous was real hot?
Yeah, scorching.
But remember when he did that shit to Ray J?
Oh my God, you said he never recovered from that. It was a
You think he did?
You're saying that Ray J's power. You're saying Ray J's power is so strong that he could damage even the best rapper's career.
Before the last time I seen Fabulous, he had on, a backwards jersey, right? Being the man out, Fabulous, my bad.
Fabulous.
And then the next time I seen him, he was dressed like Marty McFly, my nigga.
You're saying Ray J completely changed Fab overnight.
I'ma have the big homies who like homies.
This is crazy.
Sticking in that nigga booty because he's soft. I apologize. I don't mean that. Listen, we gonna back to back him. You drive the Ghost. He drove Ray J's car. He filmed the video at his house. Nigga disrespected the money team. Ray J was the first to hop up, bro. Everything that we love is directly related to Ray J.
No, he's real though, man.
I remember that.
No, Ray J is he's a part. You got to think he's the only person. When the few people meet, shout out to Matt Whitener, my co-host on I Showed a Scenario. We call it getting Trezvanted. This is where everybody else in your group gets bigger than you, and everybody thought you were supposed to be the biggest one. And he Trezvanted his own sister.
Dude, as somebody who loves sensitivity and money can't buy you love, that hurt my heart, but I think it's true.
No, everybody else in this group that you got outshined him. And you look at it, he's supposed to go solo like 4 times and blow up.
Yep.
And there's an interview, if you ever get a chance, go look at the interview where they all get back together the first time with and they all showing their solo stuff it's on video song. It's on YouTube. And they show the interview partly on the movie, but if you really watch it, you do see that Ralph is sitting there tight because this album hasn't dropped yet. BBD's dropped, Johnny Gill's dropped, and Bobby shows up. All this shit is popping.
Right, hold on.
He just releasing Sensitivity as a single. They already blown up.
I just for historical purposes want to say that Sensitivity is an amazing song.
Sensitivity remix even better.
It's part of my soul. It's part of my soul. Okay, I'm sorry, but anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
But it's just like, but you got to also think the time and the transition and what was happening. Like we were entering the New Jack Swing era, and it's just like them niggas got it. Even Johnny Gill, who couldn't fucking dance, got it.
Rub you the right way.
Rub you the motherfucking right way, my nigga.
Yeah.
Like just keeping it, and even Don't Be Cruel. Like Don't Be Cruel is still a solid classic album. No fucking.
It's the top. It's top 3 R&B albums of all time.
Okay.
I give you that. You know what I.
And I used to be obsessed with Bobby Brown. I thought I was gonna marry Bobby Brown. I don't know what happened. Drugs and things.
A whole lot happened. But shout out to Bobby. But you know how?
No, I fuck with Bobby. I'm not even gonna comment on that. We don't talk about that when it comes to Bobby. We don't talk about the drugs. None of that. No,
it didn't happen. It didn't even happen. But I look at it like Ralph. I look at it like Ralph has the NE catalog basically to himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's only right that the guys, when they get back together, they got their own little catalog, not own little, but their own catalogs to add to it, so everybody's happy. It's like, bro, you sing if it isn't love, like you know what I mean?
But this is the part though, Blake. The hits from the other people are almost bigger than the NE hits.
Yeah.
Poison is a bigger hit than almost anything in New Edition. It is the biggest hit of all the New Edition catalog if you combine everybody's together.
When that shit drops,
Poison is like a happy.
Yes, if I could be out here and they playing all this bullshit and that beat drops, the whole club is still going fucking up.
Have y'all seen Black Lady Sketch Show?
Yes.
The episode where they talking about the picnic. And it's with Tyler Williams James, and he keep playing it to try to stop us from talking about stuff.
And everybody just stop. But that's just how it is. Nobody is looking around like, well, why would they play it? No, it's like, So I mean, that might be the biggest hit out of even all of their solo projects, though.
It is. No, it's the biggest of even a regular New Edition too.
Yeah.
It's that one. It's that, like I said, it's like a happy. It's that one transcendent record that you can't plan, and it's just like they were just blessed. Here's the song that's gonna last you the rest of your life, literally. You know
I
what I'm
would put it like this though, Blake. If Ralph was going on tour by himself, could he go on tour by himself? No.
You have because he's the face of the whole like
But that's the point of getting Trez-banded. That's the whole idea that you have been usurped by everyone else. You got usurped by 3 dudes that didn't even sing in the group. Them 3 dudes didn't even sing in the group. You got usurped by them.
Daryl, it's less that I disagree. It's more that I'm hurt that it's true. Okay? Because I love Ralph.
Think about this concept of Ralph Trez-banded. Yo, 3 dudes that did not sing are bigger than you.
Yes.
They called a blessing, bro. You can't play in Poison. They called a blessing, dog. Just like
and I don't know if y'all know. So you know, Kwame wrote DeVoe's verse.
I didn't know that.
So the story goes, Kwame and them, they kicking it and he was like, he put the beat on, and he was like, man, write something to it for us. And Kwame's like, this ain't gonna never come out. So he sat down on a napkin and wrote on the beginning of Poison and gave it another, go do that shit. No, but whatever, here, take it. And he said like a year late, like 6-7 months later to a year, he's like, yo, that's my part I wrote for them.
Wow. Shout out to Kwame, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kwame. Yeah, it's just it hurts that it's true because Ralph is like a spirit animal for me, dog. I don't think you understand that. Any heartbreak, Ralph, that's like that's a spirit animal for me. Like if it isn't love.
And look, Blake, I'm gonna salt them even more. When they came back to the renegotiation table for the Home Again album, everybody was singing on there because it was like, look here, I know what we did before.
They had to.
Hey, that album too.
No, that album's arguably it may be the best New Edition album. Home Again.
It absolutely is. Yo,
Any Heartbreak is dope though. Any Heartbreak is dope.
That tour was amazing. I was so mad when they came to St. Louis that Ralph Trez-banded was sick because
we was okay. We was okay. He got Trez-banded. We were okay. We was okay with BBP, Johnny, and Bobby.
And it was just
Bobby
like
low-key could solo that, honestly. But like, yeah,
so
man,
heartbroken. I was like, Mom, why are we here? Like, I'm ready to go.
So I love Ralph, though, man. I love Ralph. I love you. I'm a big New Edition fan. But that's the idea of being Trez-banded, and that's what happened with Ray J and Brandy. He overshadowed. No one thought that Ray J is gonna be bigger than Brandy.
Yeah.
Well, here's the magic in this. Sometimes your talent isn't the thing that you're the most passionate about initially. And this is one thing I've had to grow into. Sometimes your calling or the thing that you'd be the most successful at might not be the thing you're most passionate about. I'll put it this way. Ray J clearly wanted a great music career and he got some great success, but he got even bigger just being Ray J, right?
Yeah.
Brandy was huge as a musical success and acting too, but literally anything else, and it just doesn't seem to travel the same way. So it's just like, do you want to force your passion and just kind of be marginalized, or do you want to let your passion have its space, but figure out what else that you can offer the world? Because you might see way more and do way more doing that. You know what I mean? And I think with Ray J, he just has such a personality that's just like, oh wow, boom. I wish Wait a Minute like went diamond, but like no, everybody wants to see him pick a girl out of 20 and do that whole thing in the mansion. Like, and that's what blew him up. You know what I mean? And the Kim K, I think the Kim K thing blew him up, but that could have been a moment. But people clearly love Ray J. You feel me?
Yeah, I think Ray J also understood a lot of the business aspect, like you said, like just segueing out and find out these, because I mean, tech is his, like space, like electronics, all of that. The Scooty bike sold for like a crazy amount of money, and then he got the Raycon buds. Ray J is fucking worth $14 million, y'all. He worth more than Brandy.
That's what I'm saying. He Trez-banded her.
Yeah, so it's just.
I'm gonna start using that too. I'm trying to get that in the lexicon for Black culture.
Yeah.
Trez-banded.
Stop it. It's
Oh, I got a long list of people that's been Trez-banded.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Because it's just so interesting. Because like we were going back and forth about even the fight night that happened, the fight, and then what ends up happening between Fabulous and Ray J, and how like the story was like Ray J, like beat Fabulous ass. It comes out, I think he like ended up smacking him or some shit. But it's just like when you think of Ray J,
Ray J's bigger than Fabulous too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. His shit got shaky I think there was like this weird shift when that shit happened with him and Emily B. and then the other day you go adore a whole nother chick saying you love this natural body, but your chick is not like, but that ain't none of my business though. I ain't one to gossip. But it's just like when I heard that, I was like, it's no way in hell that Fabulous and Ray J got in a fight. You know, like, cause you're thinking about like Ray J being so tall, he's so small, and then Fabulous being like Blake's height, you know, and similar build. And it's like, that didn't happen. And then you find out, oh, he did put hands on him. It was just a little exaggerated. It's still wild to even be talking about it. But I mean, I guess he's doing something right. He's talking about this nigga right now. So
Ray J, man, people just need to give him his roses. I know it's hard for us. And I'm not saying I appreciate all his behavior, you know, and his antics, but you gotta respect it at some point, you know. Yeah. And he could have sat on his laurels and just did that love and hip hop shit, like you said, Dom. And he actually is doing the business shit too on top of it. He could have just rested on his laurels and just did love and hip hop every year. And that's it.
I wanna give him credit for the tech side too, because I think all too often, you know, social media, I won't just blame Black Twitter because white people do it too. We pay attention to like, you know, the funky stuff, but we don't pay attention when somebody's actually building the right way and really doing it right. You know what I mean? And he's at a point now where he's really trying to, like, as a man, grow and focus on business. Whatever's going on with his family, I think he's really trying to keep that together, because old Ray J would have been off to another by now, and he's really trying to keep that together. I want to acknowledge his growth too. Like, we definitely acknowledge the foolishness, but acknowledge that man's growth, because
I agree.
That's major. That's major.
Yeah,
and
that's
I hope
I
almost bought Raycons. I ended up getting the Apple AirPods just because I'm addicted to the brand, but I almost got Raycons. Like, I almost considered them, you know what I mean, before I just went ahead and got the AirPods. So I nod my head to him, man, for real. I salute him.
It looked like it's some jizz in your ear.
Some what?
Some jizz. It does. It remind me of something about Mary. Like, I wish that I like the concept of AirPods. I just wish that they were more like not hanging like that. That's just irky to me. And I lose shit all the time, as y'all can see. That's why I got a fucking cord, man, because I always lose shit.
I rock with the Bose, man. I'm rock with the Bose joints. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I used to have the Bose, like the big ones that would like knock out the sound, like use on a plane, man. I broke them shits. I was heartbroken. I was like, I can't afford to replace this shit. I'm gonna
tell y'all now.
I was in college when that happened. It wasn't happening.
Daryl, are you one of those like swear by Android people, or do you have an iPhone?
I'm an Android person just because I'm refused to convert, because I don't want to convert. No real reason.
We bullied my homegirl on the other podcast. We bullied Shatara so much.
Yeah.
She got an iPhone. Yeah. She got an iPhone.
I'm first of all, I'm old. I'm lazy old. I have a 7-year-old that drives me crazy. And then I just have life and all the different stuff, the podcast network. I don't have time to be going through and redoing all my passwords, re-uploading all this stuff just for you can FaceTime me. No. Call me. You got WhatsApp, right? Hit me on WhatsApp. Hit me on Duo. It's a whole bunch of other apps I got. Hit me on that if you want to see me.
Oh my God.
And I might not even answer because I don't even FaceTime. What do you mean you got to FaceTime me? I don't want to see you to see me what I'm doing.
Dog, the scowl on your face mixed with like the beard and the hat, that was your old hair.
Hey, but the thing is, because it's like, yo, you like the feds FaceTime me. You like the feds? Why you want me to FaceTime?
No, like low key, when I be FaceTiming people, it oddly does this weird snap. And I'm like, yo, whoever my big brother person is, love how I motherfucking look. And I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. I ain't doing.
Come over here and pay some of these goddamn bills, okay? Because
yeah, I've already came to the conclusion that I'm just gonna have to stay a completely legal citizen, legal non-criminal, because they got everything off me, dog. So it's too late.
It's no point in doing crime anymore. I don't understand crime at this point. Like, I don't understand it.
Me neither.
You literally want to go to jail. Like, you're just like, yo, it looks cool, man. I went by Potosi. You know what I'm saying? It looked like I could be up in there. This like be straight. Why? Like, you can't get away with shit.
You cannot.
Listen, I got.
Even if you leave your phone, they'll be like, "Why's your phone at home?" for 7 hours during the day. You must have been here doing this. Like,
right,
damn.
right. I'm like, it's a whole process to try to like segue out to do some fuck shit.
Like you got to keep your phone at home for 7 hours for like 3 months straight that you can develop a pattern. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been booked twice in my life, right? Only twice. That's enough times for somebody like me, a complete civilian, complete regular non-criminal, to be like, yo, when you're sitting in a cell in the middle of the night, cold, like, yo, man, I can't wait to get out of here.
Using Rikers?
Like, what do you say? No. Just booking. Just like in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Oh, nigga, they booked me, and I was in a cell, like with 2 other bitches. Like it was.
I was in the cell
and
with like 10 other
like,
dudes.
Yo, if they ain't gonna come by and like give us like a honey bun and a quart of juice, and that shit still to this day, I was like, what the? So you didn't really want me. You wanted me to become Aggie because all you did was give me sugar. It's like wild. It was the strangest fucking thing. I was up there in motherfucking Richmond Heights.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was.
They good for getting them brother over there.
No, and it was funny because when the cop pulled me over, he actually pulled me over out of his jurisdiction. It was a black cop too, fucking asshole. Fuck you, Officer Sanders. And it was a whole thing. I was name dropping my people. Like I had people hot up. The motherfucker gonna tell me so. And took me to jail on Good Friday, y'all. I was hella nervous. I was gonna have to stay. I was leaving Houlihan's on Henley. And I had just got to like Forest Park in Hampton. And that's when he turned the lights on. It was me and Vernon. He was like, whoop, whoop. And Vernon's like, is everything right in your car? I got a warrant. I'm like, why you got a warrant? You don't drive. He's like, I got a Metrolink ticket. Man.
Hold on. They got you at Forest Parkway in Hampton?
Yes. Out of his jurisdiction. Yes. And then it was so funny because so they ended up towing my car. We had this whole argument or whatever. He was just a dick and I just called him out. And I think, and sometimes like, it is what they say about a lot of these cops. A lot of them are pussy ass niggas that got chips on their fucking shoulder because they was bullied, and I experienced that firsthand. And I've been in a lot of like compromising ass situations in St. Louis, but my saving grace has always been able to like name drop and be able to walk away from situations, thankfully. And because I know everybody doesn't have that privilege. But how he was just acting, the arrogance, and I'm just like, dog, somebody need to beat your ass. Like, somebody shoot your dumb ass one day. Run you over with a car. But that's just really unfortunately like what it is. And man, when I tell you, the people that I was in the cell with was hella bomb though. But it was a Thursday night and we went to Houlihan's for happy hour, that late night happy hour. They closed like at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. And so it had turned to Good Friday. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to be in this motherfucker till like Monday because ain't no courts open.
Yeah. Well, listen, being in that kind of predicament twice in my life and just wishing, like, I remember being in the cell the last time with 10 other dudes with no blankets. Like, it's just a wide room with like a metal toilet. And I remember thinking like, yo, I'd rather be sleeping on my own bathroom floor than being in here with these dudes right now. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes
did your cell have a camera? Ours had a camera.
I don't know what it had. I was just trying to stay warm. It was August. So I was like this, I'm outside, you know what I mean? I'm just like this, luckily it was Sunday. So we saw the judge the next day, but like, yeah, man, like sometimes I look around in my crib, I could be laying down and be like, yo, remember when all you wanted to do was just be at home? Cause I'm ready to get a bigger place, all of that. But like, I can remember like, I remember when all I wanted to do was just be at home. I'll sleep in my own closet. I'll sleep in the tub. Like, just get me out of here, right? If that's what the trade-off would be. So like, that definitely gave me a lesson in not ever being in that situation as much as I can control, because it sucks. And all I had was booking. I've never been really locked up, never did time. Booking was enough. Not being able to leave as a grown man, nope. Not for me.
Man, yeah, it was definitely, like I said, I wasn't supposed to be there, it was, and everything that ended up happening, it was because a clerical error was made by the city where I got the ticket. But and
That's how it always is.
That's how my first one was.
And I was just like, I cannot believe this shit. But but it was enough to know, like, nah, like always be on top of your shit. Like if your attorney or lawyer ain't following up on shit, make sure you call in and like following up, because that's just what it is. And I was like, man, I'm floating shoulder. What's happening? Like, it was just a hot ghetto mess.
So was it like women? Like was it like Orange is the New Black in there for you or something like?
I mean, yeah. So
like
it was like
in prison.
It was like me.
Yeah,
it was like me and two other chicks. One of them, and it was funny because like one of them had got caught like shoplifting from like fucking Kmart. But she was like in some shit where it like spun into like some drug shit low key. And she was telling me like, like hit me up, like when you out with them, we, and I'm like, I don't know if you get now. So and
yeah,
then,
low key, it was guys that was caught with like crack and stuff like that. I'm just like, eesh.
I know.
And priors, I was like, woof.
And they was like, what you in here? I was like, yeah, I saw hit somebody with a lock. You trying to make it, seem like you don't fuck with me. I mean, but it, really was a ticket. But so when the girl was even telling me the thing about like the drugs shit, I was just like, yo, like we got a camera in here. We don't know if that motherfucker got audio. So I'm like, chill, like, and then the other girl, she had like some kids. I feel like both of them had kids, but you clearly the drug dealer didn't give a fuck about them. But the other chick, I feel like her shit was something similar. It could have been like some ticket shit, turn it to warrant and you in impaired court. But man, that was enough. I said, I ain't gotta ever be back up in that motherfucker. That was like the longest, like, shit, almost 24 hours of my life.
Yeah, I got one in Arizona. I still ain't been back to court there, so they gotta find me though. I gotta step back.
They gotta find me in Vegas. I
gotta get back to that state for them to get me.
Shit, I'm like, they gotta find me in Vegas because not paying it. He knew better. So
no jail.
no jail.
But there's no point. There's no point for crime, no people. No crime. There's no point.
Yo,
have y'all been hearing this scam rap?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's scam rap. You have trap rap. This is scam rap. It's just they just rap about scamming cards and shit. Like I saw it on this HBO Max. Did y'all see that documentary on HBO Max where they talk about different people that doing like scam crimes that are younger? And there's this dude. What's the dude that he's the most popular one?
Kodak?
Some 3X, TJ 3X or something. Little TJ, I think. But he's like the biggest scam rapper. Okay, people. I mean, all the people that are probably listening. Do y'all Googles now?
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm like, little TJ.
Yes, little TJ or little TJ, I think. And he's on this documentary. It's on HBO Max. It's called like Young Hustlers. It's something basically about all these different young people that were scamming. Okay. Like it's different episodes, different documentaries, and they all know him. And I'm like, and he has raps telling you how to scam card shit. Like that's the whole genre of this rap is like scamming like cards, scam people on Instagram. Like they'll set up Instagram pages, have you go through and try to buy some Jordans through PayPal and keep your paper.
Yo, you know what? You can tell that Gen Z didn't grow up on that locked up documentary where the dude stuff like that. They didn't grow up with that. They didn't grow up with the shows where the guys was yelling at the kids. Like,
so we need to bring Oz back, you saying?
Yeah, they didn't grow up with eyes. They didn't grow up in anything that made jail scary.
But you gotta think like, that.
I'm like,
but because that culture, they glorify like death. They glorify pill popping, drug, all of that. They glorify all of that. So it's like it's nothing to them. And it's like you think about. I think about like. That was a nigga.
I kind of bump up against this idea because statistically crime and murder is down US wide. And I always think about is it our perception because we know more about death. We know more about people being killed. So we think it's worse than the 90s. I'll tell you this, 91, 92 St. Louis, there ain't gonna be no time that's gonna rival that. I feel like.
You gotta think coming off the crack era. Like so it's like crack, it's crack era. It's just like how the 90s late 80s, early 90s was in New York, you know, like in Harlem, Brooklyn, all these places, the Bronx. And so it's just that at that time it ran so rampant and they didn't know how to fucking control it. And you was just looking for the next, you know, fix it. You didn't give a fuck like whoever granny that was, though you might have knew her. You was beating her ass for her money so you could get high. But I don't know. I live in kind of in the suburbs out here, you know, amongst the colonizers. So it's like pretty much quiet. So when shit be happening, I got the Citizen app. I'm like, somebody try to rob somebody a block away.
The Citizen app.
Y'all, I gotta delete this shit. The other day, y'all, I got an alert and said that it was somebody at large, like with a chainsaw. But a few hours prior, there was somebody that assaulted somebody with like an actual saw. And so I'm thinking, God. I'm like, so if I'm just randomly, you know, like walking down the street and I see somebody with a chainsaw or just a regular hard saw, Doug, I'm going the other way. I'm sorry.
But see, that's the thing. I think we know too much shit, Dom. Like we know too much shit that makes us fearful of every fucking thing. I wish I don't know as much shit as I know. You know what I'm saying when it comes to certain things. Yes. Like even interpersonal relationships, we know too much about motherfuckers. Like I shouldn't know so much about somebody after you break up. I shouldn't be knowing that. I shouldn't know.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Like I mean, when you broke up, you be like, damn, I saw them like 2 years later. Now they on somebody else's story. It's just so much access to all these different stuff. It's like, oh dang. I mean, the only cool part is you get to still people from high school and people that you knew that you're like, damn, I forgot him from 3rd grade. He moved to Salt Lake City, and now we back cool.
Right.
But I think we know too much shit.
It is true because I was telling my best friend and my sister in the chat, and I was like, why the fuck is Instagram nervous? Fuck why the fuck is Instagram suggesting like my ex's page and information to me? I don't give a fuck. Like a video popped up on my explore page, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to block.
That's why I block it. You gotta block it though.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna have to block this person.
Yep.
And of course,
and it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
It's not at all. And I'm just like, I just don't care to see because I know like the ins and outs for real, and you just messy, and I don't want that energy like even popping up suggested to me. So, cool.
I hate to admit it, but I've actually benefited from seeing people move on from life and not do better than me. So it's like,
okay, a little part, the petty part, the small part of petty in me is like, oh God, I dodged a bullet.
So Blake, you like to see the downfall online.
Listen, it could be the downfall, or in my case, just to give credit to those young ladies, it's just been more of the same, more of the lateral. So I might have caught them at one point, but if
they're making lateral moves, it's like you just switching out. It's just a different player playing the same game.
Lateral. Yeah, and I can't do lateral at all. So it's just like, oh, you weren't supposed to come with me past this point. I get it. Cool.
Now I got a question for both of y'all. Since we talking about this, have y'all and Dom? I know you're not going to admit it because few women admit this. Have you ever caught the vapors where you like did somebody dirty, or you did not necessarily did somebody, or you kind of didn't dig within you should have, and you like, damn.
Blake, you answer that because I know you got a head out. So you answer and then I'll answer.
Okay, man, this is a heck of a note to end on. I'm going to say yes. There's been probably more than one young lady in the past that I didn't necessarily do dirty, but I just wasn't.
Oh, you should have been digging. You should have been like thinking like, yo, I should have been trying to holler at them for real.
Myself. Yeah,
I should have been taking it more seriously or whatever.
Yeah. And then the time passes and they actually elevate. They actually glow and continue to just evolve. And I never get that pass back. I never get that entry back to that space with them again. And it's like, I regret that. And I'm just gonna have to do better going forward and make sure I got, proper energy for whoever I engage with. You know what I mean? So yeah, I do. I have a few of those actually.
All right, Dom.
Blake, you want to head out real quick, or you want to tell them where they can find you super quick, and then I got you.
All right, cool. Blake Symphony. You can follow me at Blake Symphony on Instagram. My brand at Nomad World Citizen. Links in all the bios if you want to buy some things. Appreciate Dominique for having me on your wonderful show.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, brother.
Daryl, I gotta get on your show now, bro.
Yeah. We gotta do this now, man.
Okay, we gotta do it. But other than that, I appreciate y'all, man.
All right, boo. Have a good day. And I'll put your links in the description too.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, boo. Bye. Have a good one.
Later.
All right, Dom.
All
Because
right.
it's few women that admit this stuff now.
Okay, so I think about men that I've dated or in the past, and I'm being so transparent with you. Nah.
Of course you would. I know you wasn't.
No.
Women. No.
I can tell you, and I will tell you why. Because I feel like a lot of the things, I feel like men feel that way about me because I feel like a lot of times.
Of course you do. Every woman says this.
No, and I'll tell you this. I'll tell you solely this because you'll get it because you're an Aquarius.
Okay.
You'll understand because we just move different. People think that it's us being funny or us being detached, but it's a way that we move to protect our peace and our space, and we enjoy certain levels of freedom. I said that in the beginning.
100%.
And so it's like I want to be able to do me and you have your good time, and when we together, like we're kicking it, that's it. It's no need for me to be under you consistently 24/7 because I have a fucking life. And a lot of times I feel like the instances that I've run into, like men never got it until their next relationships and they dealing with a clingy ass bitch. And it's just like, and I always get the call or the text where they're like, I understand how you move. I get it. Oh my God. Get me out of the situation. I said, they ain't got shit to do with me. Like, that's you. But I explain that to people when I meet them and I talk to them. That's why I have to date an air sign. Because I'm like, I don't have to explain it because they get it. And so I'm like, hey, if you're a different sign, like whether it be a Cancer, and I know Cancers tend to be clingier, or if I'm dating a Capricorn.
Or Leos.
And my rising is in Leo. So it's like
that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm like a little passionate, and I'm not gonna say aggressive. I'm gonna say passionate about like different things that I care about, and I always want the best for people. I feel like that's a huge misconception. Like people look at it like, oh, you're a bully, blah 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 blah. It's not like that. Nah, bitch. I know that you can do better because I can see the potential. Why can't you? You know? And so I have never. When I look back, like I just told y'all, I have an ex that has a secret child that don't take care of his kid.
I'm not saying him. You know, I'm not even necessarily saying somebody you actually dated was serious, but like you was like kind of talking like, damn man, you know what? Chris was cool, man. I should have kind of highlighted him.
No, because I've been in positions where I've messed with like niggas that's like elite. Mm-hmm. And I have done what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just like, well, what the fuck happened? You know? So it's like, but I understand like timing too. So it's just like, probably wasn't the time for that.
So you saying that's more of a male thing to feel like you have vapor? Is it because we run through so many?
Yeah, I really like
we put up more numbers, so it's like you got more likelihood to feel that way.
Yeah, and but that it don't necessarily mean that y'all putting up more numbers, because like women are just as
putting up numbers too.
Yeah, you know, like as sexual, and like we date and might talk to multiple men at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's just like I feel like really it's I would say I've seen my homegirls fumble, you know, like situations, and it'll be solely based on like a man saying, I don't like this, or I don't like when you say this, and they look at it like it's him trying to change me and all this stuff. I'm like, no, it's not that. He's telling you how to love him, how to treat him. So why is that you like he's trying to change me, you know, and hold me? I'm like, that's nothing to do with that. He's telling you how he wants to be approached and loved, and you can't get that. So I've seen situations like that. We could talk offline about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But no, what's funny is I think it's
the hardest.
I think more men have, and this at least people I know, I run into very, very few women that take personal accountability sometimes in relationships. And I don't know if that's because of the society we live in is always putting it off on the issues of whatever happened because of a man. Yeah. Like, have you been watching this show, Women Run the World, or Girls Run the World?
Oh, okay. I enjoy that show.
I like it. No, and I watch it every week.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So what's your question?
So in that show, I mean, I hope it ain't spoilers. It's a damn comedy, so it's not really spoilers.
Yeah.
So one of the girls is married, is engaged to somebody, and I mean, all these different people don't want to be with people. And I remember, shout out to Bomani Jones. He said this when it came to like sports and coaching, but I thought of it and applying it to relationships. Every relationship, you can figure out a valid reason to not be in it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm talking about. You can find a reason, and it can be very valid and okay for you not to be in a relationship because of this. The thing is, are you willing to do that because of this? Or you just don't, but the thing is just say you don't want to be with them no more. Not because of this other thing, you just don't want to be with them because you were okay with this before, or if depending on the person, that same person has some other stuff you really dig, you would accept it. You just don't want to be with this person, and that's fine. Just admit that is what I'm saying.
Okay. So,
Hey, yo, y'all don't understand this conversation being done.
We just had a whole offline conversation. Okay, so we back to run the world. Back to run the world.
Yeah, no, and I was saying that in general, I think sometimes we just don't accept that we don't want to be with that person, and we make bullshit excuses. Then just say that you don't want to be with them, and for whatever reason you want to say it, it's fine with it.
No, it's just like I don't have no reason. You know, like we all you outgrow people, and it's just like, yo, this is cool. You ain't do nothing. I just feel like we're in different places, and I kind of.
But we make it some trumped up thing, like we sitting in the court and shit. Like, remember in '97 when you stepped on my foot and then hit me on accident? I never got over that.
Yeah, no,
we gonna break up.
And which leads me here. I feel like sometimes I understand anger and emotions, and sometimes you need to walk away to like reconvene. But it's like you said, don't tell me 20 years later down the line, I don't give a fuck, because it don't matter. Now I gotta be asshole about the situation. So it's like, okay, take your moment and then like let's talk and let's figure this out now, so I know how to treat you and how to move going forward. You know, maybe I said something that triggered you. I don't want to be like that. So are you I'm guessing you're referring to the girl that probably really don't want to get married?
Yeah, and all of them to a certain extent. Yeah, and even that's just not just them. It could be any men or anything in there as well. Like we just choose to be with who we love, and we just make a decision. We can make another decision to be fired, or like because the whole concept came from Bomani. He was like, anybody can be fired for anything. Like you can find a reason to fire somebody. So with that, we either stick with somebody and we try to work it out and become better, or we don't, and that's fine. But just accept the fact that whatever bullshit reason you came up with outside of like them having a kid on you or some extraneous stuff that's like super big, I get that. But people will stay with somebody that had a kid on them.
Yeah.
So you can't. But I'm saying, so whatever reason you're making is just saying that we just don't need to be together, and I just ain't feeling you, and that is fine, and that is good enough.
Yeah, no, and that should be enough. Like I'm not about.
But we trump it up more to like, well, you know what? If she would cook for me more, you know what I'm saying, give me more sex and blah blah blah, or he had more paper and spend more money on me, I need to be treated a certain way. Just say you don't want to be with that person, especially if you've been with them a certain period of time.
Right.
You could have been not wanting to deal with them, but you now want to bring that up.
Yeah.
Just say you just don't want to deal with them, and that's fine.
Yeah, well, that is absolutely true.
Keep in mind, I was a whore from 2006 to 2012.
Listen now.
A good one though. Like every woman, I got the Derek Jeter gift bag that I made, like that I would do for on my low budget at the time.
Yo, I am sitting here. I can't listen. I have never been a whore. I have tried. It take a lot of work. When I say whore, I mean in the sense of like I want that, and that's not even really being a whore, because like niggas, y'all do it all the time and y'all pimps, and so I've never really been a pimp. I have dated and talked to
pimps actually have women that they put on the stroll. Let's call it player.
Okay,
I don't
I've
like
never
pimp.
been a player. Okay, I've never been a
Because
player.
pimp
Or
is
I've
actually
never,
a women's solicitation for money. And I
which
hate
is
people
nothing.
saying like, I'm a pimp. No, you're not a pimp.
No, which is there's nothing wrong with sex work, by the way. Like
No. But I'm saying, but you're not a pimp, dog. Like you're not a
no,
pimp.
I've never been a player, so I've never had to think I don't want to be a player no more because I don't know what that's really like. Because I feel like I have just played the game, like
yeah. And the game is the game.
So yeah.
Fellas, quit getting mad at a woman for playing the game. The game is the game, baby. It's like on The Wire. He's like, the game is the game.
Why do you think people hate Lori Harvey so much?
Because she's playing the game.
Okay.
Like, I don't hate her. It's just not.
You don't hate her.
Out that game. I'm not in it. It's like I'm in the NBA is past me. Like, like my jersey's in the rafter. I want to play in the big three. I'm in the big three now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over there with all the old cats. It's only 3 of us on the court. That's how I can keep it easier.
Yeah.
I ain't on the 5-on-5, so it's not a game I'm a part of, but the game is the game. She playing the game well. Whatever's whatever. Now I can talk about what I feel that I would move, but I don't live in that world. So I can't judge neither one of them. And whatever the love is love for you, go for it. Whatever my ridiculous thoughts on it means nothing. Plain and simple, means nothing. Look, everything from Future is an upgrade for a woman. So I'm not going to get mad for any woman upgrade. Okay. He may be the link for you to get a better man. I've seen a
Future, call me. Future, call me.
Future, you mess with Future, your next relationship ends up being amazing. I don't know what it is.
That's true. So
now you got to be an on-point woman because some of them little scutter buckets he had been messing with, they ain't came up on nothing. Yeah, but the women that was like, yo, I'm moving on, I'm gonna do me and like not attach myself to him, they glowing. Sierra, Lori Harvey, they glowing.
Yeah. No,
and let them move, let them be whatever.
No,
I hate, man. It's a lot of dudes that's hating, man. It's the Kevin Samuels shit is getting in these niggas' head too much, and everybody think they are fucking valued, man, and all that shit,
Y'all not high value men. Y'all are broke, lame ass, dusty ass.
And the thing is with the high value men, I haven't spoken on this, and I know I'm speaking on a lot on your podcast because I got the real the podcast game. I've done, I'm doing in different directions with, so I don't really get to talk shit like this as much no more. So
we're here. This is why we're here.
Yeah. So Kevin Samuels gives you a great blueprint for on paper what it can be on paper. But relationships aren't on paper. They are so way more complicated than anything that we could ever scientifically try to come up with.
Yeah, no, I think
they're way more complicated.
It's way more complicated. And the women that kind of subscribe to that shit though are like, I'm not gonna say they're necessarily like insecure, but it's like it's like I explain it like how you deal with like a Derek Jackson or even like a Rob Hill or any other of these relationship gurus. These niggas are not giving you the game. You think it's the game because it's coming from a man, but your homegirl just told you that, or I just said that to you like last week. So it's like, well, bitch, he didn't tell you nothing new. I just told you that. You know, and so I think that's why men are very successful in those avenues because it's like, really? Oh, this man.
Because ain't no man gonna listen to no woman about no game. I ain't seen no woman blood like Kevin Samuels that be having dudes that be like, how much money you got? Like, man, I only make 90,000. You ain't shit. Like, I actually, we need to do this, Dom.
Yes, we need to do this. Oh, yes.
Let's have dudes call in and you just being like, so how much money you make? And what number she posted about? Like how she supposed to look? She supposed to look like Halle Berry. Oh, okay. And you just go asking all these questions.
And then I'm just
high value. You know what you need to get Halle Berry. You know what you need to get her.
But man, and then I'm gonna just hang up on them. Just be like, oh, you say you make 30K and you want who? All right, cool. And
that's my thing. And the thing is though, like the idea of 6 figures, and he's right about this. Most motherfuckers don't make 6 figures.
Yeah.
The average median income in the US is $35,000. And that's fine. Yo, be you, dog. Be you. And woman, be happy with who you are with at the same time. And who's me to say you can't get a high value dude? But I tell you this, from the bad ones I've been around, they knew the game from a young age, and they ain't getting it at 35. They already been on. They know this game.
Right.
You ain't getting it this late. You. It's either as the players say, if it ain't in you, it's not on you. It's in you. It's not on you.
No,
like if you don't know, you don't know. Like you just don't know.
Yeah, no, and I think that's absolutely true. Like we was just talking about that offline. Like it's either there or it's not, and money is not going to really change this what's happening for real. But like people just think it does, and they move. And I'm like, you can move with that mind frame. That's cool.
And that's actually the worst person to deal with on the one side is a woman that just got fined and a man that just got money. That's the same. Those are two worst people to deal with. If you talk to a dude like, when did you get your money? Oh man, I got, I hit the lottery in 2015. Oh, okay. And then you hear a girl, you be like, oh yeah, I had surgery 3 years ago. Oh, they the worst two people to deal with. Because they ain't in them. They don't know what this like. They don't know what that means.
When I tell people that, like it's a lifestyle change, and people don't understand that. And when people talk about surgery, I'm like, yeah, you changing your exterior, but it's a reason how bitches end up blowing up again, because they ain't worked on what's in the inside. They ain't fixed their soul. Nigga, how is your soul?
That tape in the side of their belly get broke, and then it's just all that coming back.
It is so real, because like I explained that to like my dumbass coworker. I'm like, but do the work. I'm like, it ain't like you like morbidly obese or whatever, and you need help with like a lap band or something. You can literally change your diet. Bitch, you don't drink water. You sitting up here drinking Coke all day.
And just because you big don't mean you ain't fly either. There's some women that are healthy as hell and are big. They just a bigger woman.
Yeah. And
so be unhealthy and be a small woman.
And that's true. And that is true, because I know hella bitches that's like, we're the same size and they got high blood pressure. So it's like, no, and that's just keeping it a buck.
That's
but it's
real.
Just like niggas, everybody always want to look outward and try to fix those things like that. A lot of people don't want to do the work. And yesterday, and this has been an ongoing conversation that I always have with people, like, kudos to you for going to therapy, and, shout out to anybody that wants to make that change and make their lives better, and they're understanding how important their mental health is. But, you deal with narcissistic, crazy people, the definition behind that is like repetitive, like sociopaths that keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it never
expecting
gets better.
Different results.
And expecting different. I deal with a sociopath every fucking day. Every day at work. And we'll get in positions, and when you call it out, it's like, well, I don't understand, because no, bitch, you don't want to do the work. You have told me that. So this is why we're here having this conversation again. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I keep trying. I said, no, this is how I'm gonna do this. I can show you better than I can fucking tell you. And you just got to navigate the situation better until you can get that person to exit out. But it's just like, I don't understand why, like a lot of people, because they don't have work ethic. That is work ethic. Wanting to get up and go to the fucking gym, and wanting to change your eating habits, wanting to do better and create.
But the Dom, you gotta have empathy for these people at the same time. Is weird, man. Because
I'm an Aquarius. No, I don't.
Oh, no. I'm an Aquarius too, and I don't have empathy, but then I do. It's like a weird thing. I call no country for the middle. Like I'm always in the middle with myself.
Yeah.
So I do have some kind of empathy, because I feel sorry that you ain't gangster enough to really want to go after some real shit.
Yeah.
Like that. Think of like to really go after something and not have somebody give you some shit.
Right.
Like to really go after and really get the game, really get the knowledge. That take to you to just be able to sit there and wait for somebody to do something or hope some shit happen. That's a thing that everybody ain't got, man. And I mean, shit, we all go through and not do the best we can, and sometimes, but like the idea of going after everybody ain't got it. It ain't in everybody.
No, yeah, that's true too. And I try, but I feel like a lot of those situations always end up kicking me in my ass, and I was like, see, I shouldn't have did it.
No, I ain't saying you gotta deal with motherfuckers like that. You missing my point. I'm just saying empathy is still, I can still empathize, but not deal with you.
Yeah, no, that's I'm gonna take that today. That is the lesson that I learned.
Yeah, you can empathize, and I ain't gotta deal with you. I can still be like, I know it's hard. It's something I had to go through. Like, even people, family members, relationships, friends that have done you wrong, I can still be like, yo, I still forgive them, and it's fucked up, whatever it may have been they did to me, and it's all good, but I ain't gotta fuck with you.
Yep.
And that's cool. But I ain't gotta hold that on me. Like that ain't on me to hold. Because I don't need to hold that energy in me either though. Like I just gotta let that go. Even though I do want to see some people fall. I know it's fucked up. I just said all that great stuff. And at the same time, I'm petty enough to see the downfall.
So you like Blake, you like, oh, let me just double check and see. And then
cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I love to see your downfall. Anybody I know that you have been beefing with me, I'm watching you. Even though I ain't watching you, I know if when you
get
fall,
back to me.
Oh no.
It'll get back to me. It'll get back to me.
Man, and you know, in general, I know people everywhere. You can't get away from me.
Yeah.
I was a part-time alderman in St. Louis for some years doing shit.
Not a part-time alderman.
You know, I never got to the mayor status. I give that to Roy Robinson Jr. He is the mayor.
Oh my gosh.
I was like an alderman, councilman. In some cities, they have councilmen. That was me. But even and all jokes aside, though, I'm petty enough to want to see you fall, but I don't at the same time. It's weird. Like
it is, but because at the end of the day, that's the thing, and that's the cue.
Because it's not healthy for me to want you to fall.
It isn't. But then there's also
because you're still renting space in my mind.
Yeah, it's that, and I think that the huge misconception, even about, like I said, like we are told that everybody thinks that we're like terrible people because we're so cold, we're detached. Mm-hmm. But it's like it's not like that. It's just like we fuck with who we fuck with, and if we let you in our space and we allow you to take it up, and you fuck it up, oh, we got beef. It was some shit that went down, and that's why I'm like, when we get off this call, I'm writing all this shit down on a piece of paper and I'm burning it. I put somebody in a position that really needed help and needed, a job. And I knew her through like family. And and this is the second time that this has happened. At one time, I set up something with one of my homeboys in St. Louis for a former best friend. And he was like, I ain't even gonna interview her. I'm gonna hire her. It don't matter. She didn't show up. Show up at all. And she needed a job.
Damn.
And I'm like, how you don't not show up and you don't have a job? Like you're looking. I'm putting you in so then show up. And we never talk about it. He and I never said, you already knew. I'm like, I'll never do that again to you. Then I vouched for somebody to get hired at, the company I work at. That's again supposed to be a friend. Just can't show up. So I feel like, and then I was like, yo, like this ain't working out. Like I'm not gonna fire you, like you're on your final, like look for another job. Look for another job.
I'm letting you know ahead of time.
Yeah, like just I don't want it to be, like I don't want it to be like that. Please just get another job. So she did. But even the process of her leaving just spreading filth. So I'm like, I already got to deal with somebody that can't perform the task at hand, and then you're gonna make this more tumultuous for me by like adding fuel to that. Just trash. So
but you got to understand they're going to be trash going forward, so you can't let that be on you.
But you know what? No, I'm not going to say they're going to be trash
because they're going to repeat it everywhere else.
Yeah, and that's what I had to tell my like sister-in-law. I was like, that's just who she is. So when she bites you, and you already seeing the pattern, it's coming. So you might want
as I say, everybody. Most people don't change their habits. It takes a lot for you to change and grow from certain stuff. Most people are going to take you on the same ride they're giving other people. You just ain't had your turn yet.
Yeah. And it's funny because one of my homeboys out here used to be cool with her too. And he never said anything bad. He was just like, like I'm just cool, never. Yeah. And he never speaks bad about anybody. You never catch him speaking bad. And then when I told him what happened, he was like, yep, that's exactly who she is. So I was like, but when I found out some other like third party information, I had to tell my brother. I was like, yo, don't put me in the room with that bitch. Don't put me.
See, that's what that's what it's all about.
And I mean in the sense of, because I might have to jump on her. Sometimes.
No, you ain't got, I'm telling you, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
It's not, but you know what I said, no harm, no foul. It is what it is. if I see you and you needed water or something or anything, who was that? Who? You need what? No, I can't.
Dom, I gotta get off. I gotta go be a daddy.
I'm like, look, we've been on here for damn near 2 hours.
I do have to tell you something when we get off, though.
All right, Daryl, tell them.
I'll get revenge. I'll tell you how I get revenge, and they know it's revenge, but everybody else don't know it's revenge, and I'm fine with that.
Okay, well,
it's the lowest of low key, and it's getting me paid.
Oh my God! Look, nigga, tell them where they can find you and all your networks. Cause this nigga got a whole network. He be
go to SOC Network on Instagram. SOC Network on Instagram. Dig Game ISU on Instagram. SOC Network here on YouTube, or you can get it on Spotify. You get it on Stitcher. You get it on iHeartRadio. Anywhere it's SOC Network. We have a wide range of shows. I'm not on all of them, so you might not even like me, but it's a wide range of different shows from politics. We have wrestling. We got soccer podcast. We got a relationship podcast. We got a gossip podcast. We got other sports podcasts. Anything, we got gumbo in there that you will definitely enjoy. And Dom, I appreciate this, man. We got to do this again. Like, for real. We meaning to fuck around and get a show. We fuck around maybe do a show.
I was like, look, we're
like once a month, like Aquarius, like some Aquarius, like Aquarius season, like once a month.
Right.
Like remember the ABC after school special? We just do that once a month. You don't even know when it's coming out.
Listen, I am here for that. Like, yes, let's do that. I told you my shit.
Because I don't get to talk shit. I expanded. I don't really do it. You know, I got all of the shows. I can talk shit. But Dom, thank you so much, though, sweetheart. I appreciate you.
Thank you for being here. And I'll see y'all hoes next week.